Hello everyone, my name is Shreya and I am here to explain data privacy laws across the globe and other relevant topics. Today, we are going to understand material scope of GDPR, which provides clarity to organizations in determining whether or not this comprehensive law applies to it or not. Material scope of GDPR is covered in Article 2 of the regulation. Article 2 is divided into four subclauses. Currently, we are covering only clause 1. Before we start with clause 1, let's just quickly recap what we have covered in a previous video. In a previous video, we have talked about two major objectives of the regulation. One, protection of natural person, and second is free movement of personal data. Please watch the video we have prepared on objectives of GDPR. For a quick reference, the link is shared in the description. Moving forward, as I have mentioned earlier, this video is concerned with Article 2, Clause 1 of GDPR. Now, at first, let me draw you a map for Article 2. It will help to have a clear picture of the article at one glance. I call it a mind map. And yes, this is really a handy piece. If you want to have access to this chart, comment access in the comment box. So, let's see in detail what clause 1 has to say. Let's take a real life example of Vicky and Vikram to explain material scope of the regulation. So, there were two friends, Vicky and Vikram. Vicky was a tech-savvy person, owned a hotel in Mumbai. He stored personal information about his customers on the cloud. On the other hand, Vikram was an old school. He owned a hotel in Rishikesh. He preferred files over computers to store customers' information. One thing was common between both. They both were systematic and maintained the records in a structured manner, according to the specific criteria, so that if needed in future, any person can search the information regarding any customer easily. Let's see technically how the illustration is applied in material scope of GDPR. Clause 1 of material scope of GDPR says that GDPR is applied on the processing of personal data by automated means. Like in the case of Wiki, we used cloud services and computer to process personal data of its customers. GDPR also says that it will apply to data processing by other than automated means. Like in the case of Vikram, where he used traditional method for storing data in files and cupboards. Material scope of this clause also covers processing of those personal data that form part of filing system, or say are intended to form part of filing system. That means data should be systematically arranged in a manner that can be easily accessible in future by any person subsequently holding that position, like how Vicky and Vikram has done it. Now, let me provide detailed understanding of what exactly is automated means, other than automated means, and filing system by using a few examples. So, what do you mean by processing done by automated means? Automated means is when the processing of personal data is done automatically, without human intervention or less human intervention. For example, by using a car GPS to reach to a destination, or by using smartwatch to track your health. Let's make it interesting. You can now come up with more such examples on automated processing of personal data. And you can comment on the comment box below. And let's see how many examples we have in our pocket. Next is, let's understand what is processing by other than automated means. Well, it refers to processing done by human being and not by a machine. Like filling up your personal details in registration form when you visit a salon or a doctor's clinic, or by signing a wakalatnama in an advocate's chamber. The next term is filing system. Filing system is also described in Article 4, Clause 6 of this regulation. Article 4 is definition article. To provide you a quick understanding of what filing system is all about, it means any structured set of personal data. The name itself represents its meaning. And that structured set of personal data is accessed by following a specific criteria and which can be easily retrieved for subsequent use. Let's understand with an example. John Smith. John Smith is your employee. He requests details of the leave he has taken in the last 6 months. You have a collection of personal files. These files each hold one specific type of information, like employee's tenure, employee's leave, employee's personal details, etc. If there is a file named employee's leave containing alphabetical dividers and nobody has any difficulty in finding the leave record of John Smith behind the S divider, this file forms part of relevant filing system. We have explained these terms in detail for in-depth understanding of the clause. Now this is very important. Clause 1 has relevant recitals too. It would be better for us to understand all the aspects of Clause 1. So, below are important pointers of Clause 1 which are fetched from relevant recitals. First, GDPR only targets on protection of natural person, or say only living persons, irrespective of their nationality or place of residence in relation to the processing of personal data. That means any person who is traveling via EU is also included in the regulation. Secondly, this clause also mentions that GDPR is technologically neutral. It means if there are two technologies available, a new and the existing one, GDPR shall apply to both of them. It simply means GDPR offers guidelines for each organization to comply with it, even if it is based on developing technologies. It is upon the organization to ensure whether their work complies with GDPR. And the last point is GDPR applies to both public as well as private bodies. So this was Article 2, Clause 1. Next video is Part 2, which will cover Clause 2, Clause 3 and Clause 4 of Article 2. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our LinkedIn page, Ministry of Security. Thank you very much.